Welcome to the channel and welcome to Warhammer 8th edition and welcome to this 2000 point game of Blood Angels versus Death Guard. In this battle report we return to the mean streets of Babington 9. This planet has been invaded by my Death Guard warband called the End of All Things. And we mean to corrupt this place, we mean to make this place, take this place for Grandfather Nurgle. And for those of you that have been keeping score, the Death Guard have been doing rather well, but that win streak may be about to end, because the Sons of Sanguinius are here, Death Company heavy, fresh from battles on Baal, fresh from taking on Tyranids and demons and all sorts of nasties. So there's a lot of Death Company here, a lot of them with their blood up. And they mean to tear apart the Death Guard, the end of all things. So with that in mind, we're playing 2,000 points of kill confirmed. That's one of the Maelstrom of War missions from the chapter approved book. It's very simple. First blood, slay the warlord linebreaker. You get a point for every unit you kill. As well as that, you draw 3 cards a turn every turn, and you cannot discard cards that have a kill order. So if something says Big Game Hunter or Witch Hunter or kill something with a fly keyword, you will not be able to discard that order until you have achieved it. So 2 ancient enemies really mean to kill each other in this game. No quarter will be asked for, no quarter will be given. And then we put the objectives down, and then we figured out deployment zones, and it is Dawn of War, and the Death Guard will be coming on here. And there's only one objective down in this deployment zone, and that's there. And it's behind these walls, so I'm not going to be shooting anything, and only infantry can move through walls. Vehicles will have to go around these. The other 3, there's one here right in the middle of the board up there, and one there. So they're in no man's land, and the other 3 are actually in the Blood Angels deployment zone. We've got one on this building here, one in this cordoned off area on these extractor fans there for the subway, and one down there. So the Blood Angels have got 3 objectives in their deployment zone straight away. A couple more things. Though these are not ruined buildings, we will count them as ruins. If you're wholly within them, you'll get +1 to your cover save. Line of sight, as you can see across this table, is severely restricted and will be very, very interesting. And this battle map, I like this one at the weird angles. It's brought to you by urbanmats.com. There'll be a link in the credits. This terrain from Zen Terrain, this awesome modular magnetized building, this structure up here is brought to you by foregrounduk.co.uk. That's 4 with the number 4 and ground. All these stuff will be in the links at the end, in the credits at the end. And joining me in battle today is Luke. Say hi, Luke.
Hi, Luke.
And that's a really nice t-shirt.
Yeah.
Where did you get that from, Luke?
Well, I got that from Wargames.
Wargamesuk.co.uk.
Yeah.
That's nice. I like it. Well done. So Luke is a regular on the channel. Normally brings his Black Legion. It's the first time I faced your Blood Angel since back in the day, since like over a year ago now, year and a half ago now. One of the first fights we ever did versus Blood Angels. And I think that was the 13th. But this time I have turned traitor. I have brought the End of All Things. Let's go and have a look at these armies. Right, this is south of 2,000 points of Death Guard. It's a double battalion detachment, and in one of the battalions I've got these 2 Malignant Plaguecasters and 3 units of Poxwalkers. Both of these guys have got Putrescent Vitality and Miasma of Pestilence as their powers. The same powers, so I can remember to do them. Miasma of Pestilence, -1 to hit. Putrescent Vitality, +1 strength and +1 toughness. You can only chuck it out on infantry models. And then this is the other battalion detachment, and leading the charge is the Brothers Grimm. The non-converted brother will be my Warlord. He has the Warlord trait, the Revoltingly Resilient, so he's got a 4-up, disgustingly resilient essentially, not a 5-up. And he has the Suppurating Plate, a chance to do mortal wounds back when he saves wounds in close combat. If that ever comes into effect, because it hasn't yet in any battle report, I'll let you know what's going on. Noxious Blightbringer. You roll 2d6 when advancing, discard the lowest. I found him remarkably useful because that's all he pretty much does. It's also a -1 to enemy leadership within 7 inches. And then Nurgle's number is 7, so I have 3 units of 7 Plague Marines. The Plague Champion has a fist and a plasma pistol in every single squad. This squad at the front here has got 2 more plasma pistols. The 2 squads at the back have got 2 blight launchers, and then 2 fetid bloat drones with plague spewers. 2 of the tanks, forget what they're called, entropy cannons and the heavy sluggers, and 2 rhinos for jumping around in. So apart from the tanks, plague burst mortars, that's what they're called. Apart from the tanks, plague burst crawlers, that's what they're called. The mortars are the things on top. Apart from the tanks, short range army. I've cut down on the smite in this particular army. So I'm going to be inviting the Blood Angels to come at me, brah. And Lucas brought a very come at me brah list, so let's go and check out the Blood Angels. Right, this is 2,000 points worth of Blood Angels. It's just south of 2,000 points. It's a battalion detachment and a vanguard. That's the one with the elites in it. So starting off with the battalion, talk me through this, what you got.
Right, for HQs, we've got 3 choices. I always bring Mephiston, he's my favourite.
Nice.
Then you've got Sanguinary Priest
Yep.
and a Chaplain.
Yep, the Priest is like an apothecary, right? People get back up again.
Yes, it is, but he also has a Red Grail. Obviously, he's not holding it at the minute, but gives him 5 +1 strength to units within 6.
Nice, okay.
Obviously, Chaplain Power Fist.
Yep.
And then I've got 3 combat squads, Melter,
Yep.
Combi Melter,
Yep.
and some Grav.
Nice.
You've got a Power Sword as well in that.
Okay.
Death Company. We've got a Thunder Hammer and then Chainsaws.
Right.
And then Land Raider, Razorbacks with Las Cannon and a Rhino.
So some transport, some Dakar in the backfield. That's a lot of las cannons.
Love my Las Cannons.
8 las cannons looking at me. I like it. And this is the Vanguard. This is 3 units of Death Guard here.
Death Company.
Death Company. I keep saying Death Guard. I'm going to say
You
that.
just love Death Guard, I know. I'll get that.
No, I don't. Okay, who's this guy?
Right, you've got Lamartas.
Yes.
He's got just the craziest, and he's got a special jetpack that makes re-roll charges with any Death Company within 6.
So he's a chaplain. So re-rolled a hit, and he's got a 6-inch aura, re-rolled a charge.
Yes.
Nice.
And then we've got just the standard Death Company chaplain. Sorry, just the chaplain. There's no such thing. That's 7th. Do apologise.
Okay.
And then we've got 3 squads of Death Company. One with a Thunder Hammer and an Infernus pistol.
Yep.
Power Fist, Hand Flamer, Power Fist, Hand Flamer, and Power Swords.
Right. So Death Company have a lot of attacks because it's 2 attacks +1 for the chainsword, +1 if they charge. Right, it's 4 attacks on the charge.
Yes.
Re-rolling a hit because there's a chaplain nearby. 2 squads with jump packs, you say?
3 squads.
All 3 squads with jump packs. This squad over here hasn't got the jump packs, so they're going to be angry. They're going to be jumping forward. Plus, you've got the Red Thirst, which is +1 strength.
It's add 1 to wound.
Add 1 to wound rolls. Is that when you charge or charged, isn't
it's
it?
both. You can charge and charge, yeah.
Nice.
Recharge and charge and get that.
Nice. So basically, when you come flying in, the Death Company should hit like a brick, and they're going to need to, because the Death Guard are disgusting and resilient. So the Warlord will be Mephiston. He knows 3 psychic powers and smite, but he can cast 2, denied 2. What's his Warlord trait?
His Warlord trait is Speed of the Primarch, which means that even if he's charged, he gets to strike first.
Okay, nice. And we'll get into the psychic powers when... Which ones did you pick?
I picked Winds of Sanguinus,
Yep.
so he can fly in his dress.
Yeah.
Unleash Rage and Quickening.
Okay, nice. Let's go on to deployment. Right, here we are after deployment. The tactical squads in the Rhinos and the Razorbacks, and the Death Company without jump packs, along with Mephiston and the Sanguinary Priest and the Chaplain, are in that one there. And Lamartes and the other Death Company are in high orbit, hurtling down towards the battle grid with their jump packs. There is a Death Guard stratagem you can use called Forlorn Fury or something, and it allows you to move in advance before the game begins. And then in turn 1, charge. Now Luke had the option of doing that, but there was a potential that I could go first, or there's a potential that the Death Guard unit would have been exposed, would have been on their own up here. He could use Descent of Angels as well for a couple more command points and charge 3d6 after dropping some guys in. But there would have been 1 or 2 units right up in my deployment zone, and then my entire army could have focused on them. And looking across the battle grid, my entire army, apart from the mortars, apart from the crawlers, is a short-range army. So Mephiston, the canny warlord that he is, has decided to hold his Death Company back for now. Yes, he wants to come charging in and crash the Death Guard lines, but there's not going to be very much reaching out and touching the Blood Angels force for now. So he can sit back on these 3 objectives, wait for me to come towards him and his guns, and then unleash the Angels of Death. He's walked across 1,000 battlefields. He knows tactics and he knows no fear. So it seems like the most astute thing to do. I've kept the Brothers Grimm in reserve in the ever-flickering, malfunctioning teleportarium because I need that counterpunch. And there's a Malignant Plaguecaster in here with 7 Plague Marines and a Malignant Plaguecaster in there with 7 Plague Marines. And what I try to do is not turtle up so everything is all in one place, because let's face it, the Blood Angels will be coming at me like a hammer. And if everything was here, I'd be trapped in the corner and dead. So with that in mind, I put a crawler all the way up here on his own. And if he wants to charge that and take out that crawler, which is some of my long-range Dakka, then his force will be over there for a turn or two. So it's kind of bait. I am on that objective as well, that little one in this construction site here. There is the unit of 10 Poxwalkers there. That's the only objective I control. The other 2 are in the middle, or there's 2 in the middle, the other 3 in the Blood Angels deployment zone. So my hand has been forced. I have to come forward. I've put the Noxious Blightbringer there so I can do that 2d6 advance rule and discard the lowest if I want to. There's the unit of Plague Marines on foot on top of that building, which will be counting as a ruin, which will be giving cover. And that's how we're deployed. So with all the objectives -1 outside of my deployment zone, I have no choice but to come forward. And it looks like the Blood Angels are playing tactical, the supreme tacticians that they are, and are gonna let the end of all things come on. Right, let's roll to see who goes first in this kill confirmed mission. As per chapter approved, the person who deploys first gets +1 to this dice roll. I definitely finished second. I've got a lot more units, and you get a point for every unit you kill. I think I've got 2 more units than Luke. So I'll roll a dice first, because for tension and all that, because I don't get a +1. And I've got a 4. You need to beat a 4, sir. Good luck. That's a 6, which is a 7. So the Death Guard are definitely going first in the battle for Babington 9. And I said Death Guard again. I meant Death Company, the Blood Angels, Angels of Sanguinius. They're going first.
I'll make it difficult. Make it difficult for you again.
Tell me every time. I'm going to get it wrong so often. So the orders from High Command are perfectly fit with Mephiston's plan. Defend 1, defend 3, and swift advance. Gain a point if 3 Blood Angels units advance this turn. Here we are after the Blood Angels movement. All very simple. 3 units have advanced. This unit got out of the Razorback and advanced. This unit got out of the Rhino before the Rhino advanced. It went that way and back that way, and it advanced. Those are 3 units advancing for an extra point. And he started to defend objective 3. And let's face it, there's no way I'm going to get him off of that at the end of my turn. He needs to hold it for his turn and to the end of my turn, and that'll be 2 points. So with swift advance, that should be 3 points. There's the other objective he needs to defend. High Command urging him to come forward, but not yet. Mephiston is saying, not yet. First, make them bleed, and then unleash the Death Company. I got it right. The Land Raider moving forward, looking at this Plague Burst Crawler. Let's move on to the shooting phase. Okay, what are we doing first, sir?
First, Razorback.
Yes.
Your Rhino over there.
This Rhino, okay, pull the trigger. 3s to hit, both hit. Strength 9, toughness 7. 3s to wound, and they both wound. -3, I need 6s, and I make neither of them, so this is 2d6 damage. You're going to blow up straight away?
Nope.
No, you're not. That's 3. Just 3. Command point?
Yeah, I'll do 1.
Really?
Yeah, go
right
on.
now?
Well, yeah, why not? 2, doesn't matter.
2. Okay, so that was 4. 4 damage taken off the Rhino. Baited him into it, look. Yeah. There's another Razorback there. Firing under the bridge, same thing?
Same thing.
Okay, 3s to hit. Only 1 hit this time. And it wounds. I need a 6. I don't get a 6. And if you roll a 6, no. So 2, 2, and 2, taking 6 damage off this Rhino. It's steaming, but it's not out of it yet. Alright, that didn't work. And the Land Raider can't see the Rhino because of this large line of sight blocking terrain all over the table. But it can see the Crawler. So you're firing everything at it?
Yes.
Mephiston says everything. A good call.
4 lance cannons.
And everything hits. With Power of the Machine Spirit, you're hitting on 3s, not 4s. And everything wounds. Right, I need 5 demon saves 4 demon saves of 5 up. I make one of them, so 3 go through. This is 3d6 las cannon hits. Oh, that's a solid hit. 16 wounds. Right, I need to make 16 disgustingly resilience. Plague Burst Crawlers have got 12 wounds. And how many did I make? That was 4. That was perfect. That's going to be first blood unless I spend a command point to try and get a 5 and keep it alive on 1 wound left. I'm going to have to do it. What did I get? A 6. It's alive on 1 wound left. Oh no, you got heavy bolters as well. Forgot about them. Shots hitting on 3s. This is strength 5, toughness 8. So winning on 5s. And you get 3. It's -1. I have a 3-up save. -1 is 4-ups. Fail 1. So I need to make another disgustingly resilient, or the heavy bolter penetrates a fuel line and it goes pop. It goes pop. That is first blood. Las Cannon slam into the Plague Burst Crawler, just reduce it to scrap metal. It does not blow up, and that's a point. And that's the end of the shooting phase. No morale test to make, no assaults coming in, that's it. A point for killing something for first blood, a point for swift advance, so 2 points already for the Blood Angels. They're already defending this objective here, and it's already going to be an uphill fight for the end of all things, but we have been fighting this war for 10,000 years. We know how to kill Astartes. Let's go on to Death Guard, turn 1. The orders for the Death Guard are mix, defend 5, deep within the Blood Angels lines. That isn't going to happen. Secure 6, luckily is the one that the Poxwalker's on. I can get that. And death begets life. If I kill 7 models, that's 7 models, I get a point. If I kill 14, I get 2 points. If I kill 21 models, I get 3 points, etc., etc. For every single one of Nurgle's number that you get a point. Here we are after my movement phase, and there's objective 6, which is rather fortunate for me because that's probably the only objective I'm going to get this turn. And then lots of Uman and Aren. The Plague Marines that were inside this injured Rhino have got out and moved that way, and the Plague Casters got up there. And then I actually healed a wound on the Rhino in the movement phase, which just never happens with the Rhino's repair ability. These Plague Marines moving forward as well. I can get some shots down in at those Blood Angels there. And because both of the float drones were within range of the Noxious Blightbringer, they have both advanced. And I got some big money on either one. There's an objective under here. And both of them are in Plague Spewer range of either the Rhino or those Blood Angels. There. And I did advance, but they are assault weapons. I can fire them. And then as you can see with the Poxbringers, again advancing. This is called Deep Strike Shenanigans. So there is room for some Death Company to drop back here. But that's about it. I didn't want, if I just pushed them forward, then I could have some Death Company right there, and that would have been a bit too close. So that didn't happen either. And then some more advancing before they got out of the Rhino. Malignant Plaguecaster and Marines advancing forward. And I needed to advance them because I needed to get within smite range. So that's now 17 inches away from that Malignant Plaguecaster. So what you're looking at is some very carefully measured movement because my army is very short range. Right, casting Miasma of Pestilence on this unit here, I need a 6, and that passes. The reason why I put it out on this unit, they're exposed, so if there's any assaulting coming on, they're probably going to get hit. And then he's going to cast the Putrescent Vitality on this squad here, which gives them +1 strength, +1 toughness. And that's a perils. So I need to spend a command point so I don't hurt myself. And I do. And it doesn't go off. It's still a 6. So dropping a command point, but that didn't work. Then on to smite. As mentioned, they are in range. And that's a perils. And I just spent a command point. So I do D3 damage to myself. 2 damage. 2 disgustingly resilience. I make one of them take a wound. Is that a shame?
That's
really?
Such a shame. Such a shame.
Right, so mine bullets didn't work that time. One of them exploded in the chamber and hurt my brain. Onto this thing. I think I can see that Razorback, and I think I'm going to put all guns into that Razorback. Try and kill it. So 2 entropy cannons hitting on 4s. I didn't move, and they both miss. The mortar on top is D6 shots. 2 shots. These hit on 4s. And one of them hits. It's strength 8, toughness 7, and it doesn't wound. Then there's a heavy slugger in the nose there, 36-inch range, 4s to hit. 1 hit. Strength 5, toughness 7 on a rhino. It wounds at -1 AP. I did a wound. You saved it. I didn't do a wound. Right, that's it. That was really annoying. I've got to do something to make myself feel better. So plague spewers into that squad there. This is an assault weapon, and this is the number of shots. 7 hits. Strength 6, and it's a plague weapon. You reroll 1s. So in the end, 5 wounds. It's -1, sir. So 5 4-up saves. Ooh, that's 3 of them gone. And then I'm going to rinse and repeat with the second one under the bridge there. This is the number of hits. And this one does 7 again. I've got 7 dice here. Strength 6. Wounds on 3s. Rerolling 1s because it's very filthy. 6 wounds that time at -1. And that's the squad. Took out a squad. That makes me feel a lot better after the mortar just missed everything. Right, let's shoot some more guns. This unit advanced, so I can't fire my bolt guns, but there is 2, that one, and there's 2 blight launchers in that squad. They're assault weapons, but you don't suffer the minus to advancing and firing assault weapons with Death Company. It's called an inexorable advance, or something like that. So they're still hitting on 3s, and blight launchers are 2 shots each, so 3s to hit, 1 hit. Strength 6. Does wound. It's -2 AP, but you're in a ruin, so -1.
Oh,
so 1 dice. And then the storm bolter, the combi bolter on top will fire, and both miss. So that's that squad. Across to this squad. He advanced, he can't fire. 2 blight launchers in this squad will fire at that rhino there. So 4 shots, hitting on 3s. The light is terrible. That's 2 hits. And these wound on strength 6, wound on 5s. No wounds. And only the blight launchers could see, rest can't see. So over here, they can see the rhino. And I'm overcharging my plasma guns. Not really because I want to, because there's no Chaos Lord nearby, but because the guns we're carrying are 10,000 years old, and the coolant system is broken. So this is the one on the sergeant. He's okay. And then the 2 other ones. Wow.
Oh, ouch.
Let's command point 1. Okay, so only one of them dies. Coolant systems. Important to keep your plasma guns cool.
Full of pus.
They need to put them in that... Full of pus, yeah. Need to put them in the water or something. Been carrying it for 10,000 years. Take on the Blood Angels at Badminton 9 and it finally blows up in his face. Strength 8, so 3s to wound. 1 wound at -3 damage on your rhino. It's only a rhino. And you don't make it. That will do 2 damage. And I'm going to take one of my plasma guns away. And that's it. I needed to kill one more thing. Killed that tactical marine and 1 guy up there. And if I'd have blown up that rhino with my plague burst crawler, that would have been death begets life. That would have been an extra point. But in the end, I only get 1 point for securing this objective here. So it's 4 points to the Blood Angels and 1 point to the Death Guard. In fact, I killed myself over here and shot myself in the head with a mine bullet. So it wasn't the most successful first turn. And now I'm sure I'm going to get to say hello to a bunch of Death Company hurtling down from orbit. Unless you keep them off the, you can keep them off the table till turn 3 if you want to.
I'm still enraged. I don't know if I can hold it.
Can't hold it back.
Can't hold it back.
Okay, let's go on to Death Company, turn 2. So it was 2 points to 1, but now it's 4 points to 1 because Luke defended that for a couple of turns. And now he needs to kill a character with Assassinate and Decapitate and Strike. You work out what character's got the highest, enemy character's got the highest power level on the table. And that's one of the Brothers Grimm who dropped in. If he kills them with any unit, he gets a point for that one. And defend Objective 6, which is the only objective I currently control, by holding it by the Poxwalkers. Basically, he needs to kill characters and try and get right in the corner with those Poxwalkers. Right, here we are after the Blood Angels movement phase. It's a tough draw for them because they need to defend 6 and kill a character and kill the guy with the highest, the character with the highest power level, which is this Lord of Contagion here. I don't know if I mentioned, but I dropped him in last turn. He's not the Warlord, he's the other one. The idea of putting him in now is because I expected some Death Guard to smash into my lines. And then I would have him on the battle grid ready to respond, and keeping the other one in my pocket. So Mephiston and his Land Raider were a bit out of position. It's not so much that he was out of position over there, it's just that he put his Land Raider up there with Mephiston and all the goodness in it. So I put most of my stuff over here, because that's how you do it in deployment, right? Alternate backwards and forwards. So the Land Raider is pushing forward. Meanwhile, the injured Rhino that was there is shooting back that way. I guess Luke can stick an injured Rhino next to that objective all game and score it if it comes up. If it comes up. And those are the only points he's going to get this turn. These two Razorbacks staying still there. I think there's still a squad in that one, right?
Yes.
Still a squad in that one, ready to go. And then the Death Company are here. Death Guard and Death Company will meet. We've got this unit with jump packs on. They can't see the Poxwalkers, but you can charge what you can't see. We've got this unit. We've got this unit. Is that Lamarty's there? And the other one? There's Lamarty's. So he's got the reroll charge thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could be in trouble. Now, typically this charge would be really hard to get because I'm 9 inches away and 3 inches up. I'm up a level. But jetpacks have the fly keyword. So that's 9 inches in a straight line with a reroll for Lamarty's. So it looks like...
3d6
and potential 3d6, yeah, with the Descent of Angel stratagem, correct, yeah. So we've got Death Company ready to sweep down this way. We've got Mephiston closing the gap in the middle. It's unlikely Luke will score very many points this turn, but the hammer is about to descend on the end of all things. Let's go on to the shooting phase. Right, las cannon fire from this Razorback coming into this drone, and you got one hit. Strength 9, toughness 7, Ooh. And it doesn't wound. You're doing the same with the other one?
Yeah.
Into the drone. Both hit this time, 3s to wound. And both wound. It's -3 AP, but I am a demon. 5 up. And I failed both of them, so 2d6 damage. 5 damage. I need 5 dice. 5 disgustingly resilience. And you make 1, I take 4 wounds. It's down to 6 left. Okay, now getting cheeky. Las cannons on the injured one down here, and then the 2 las cannons and the heavy bolter at the fetid bloke drone split in fire because it always works well.
It doesn't remain.
So this is the 2 las cannons. Both hit, yep. 3s to wound, you need that again. And they both wound, that's pretty good. 5 up demon save. And I make neither of them, so 2d6 damage. I've got 6 wounds left, and that's 8. Right, I need 8 DRs to keep him alive. And what's that one? That's 1, 2, 3. I make 3 of them. This drone is on 1 wound left, and now we have firepower coming into this other drone.
So las cannons.
Las cannons. 1 hit. And
yeah,
no wounds, but 6 heavy bolter shots. We'll rain it into him. And 4 of them hit, and this is strength 5, toughness 7, so 5s to wound. And you get 2 in there. It's -1, so my 3 up becomes a 4 up. And I make neither of them, and then 2 disgustingly resilience. And I make neither of them as well. So that one's on 8 wounds. The other drone is down to 1 wound.
Stormbolter.
Stormbolter. Okay, should have fired it earlier, but don't worry about it.
Yeah.
1 hit. You need a 5 to wound.
Nope.
Doesn't wound. Okay, the drones are still alive, despite taking 8 las cannon hits. After that, some small arms. Blood Angels kill a Poxwalker, and round here, the Death Company that can see and can shoot opened up at the Plague Marines. Did nothing, they've got a 2 up save right there, and that's the end of the Blood Angel shooting phase. Now we're going to have some charges coming up. Right, the Death Company are coming. This unit here, Descent of Angels, 2 command points, so it's 3d6 for the charge range. And you're declaring a charge against the Plaguecaster and the Plague Marines, yes. Right? Both of them here. I just suddenly remembered, you spent a command point earlier on, and you've got the Veritas Vitae, and so you've got to roll 2 dice, and on a 5 up, you get your command point back. 1 for earlier and 1 for this one. No, so still as you are. So I'm going to do some Overwatch, and then you will do the charge. Overcharging plasma guns. Managed to kill 1 in Overwatch. Now we've got this charge, 3d6 inches, and you add it all together. They're 9 inches away, and that's an 8?
8, but I can re-roll with my martyrs.
Oh yeah, you're right. And that's good. That's 11. They're in. This is where we end up. In base contact with the Plaguecaster and units within an inch of an inch. Right, now the other group trying to come flying in as well. 2d6 and a reroll with the Lamatis. Not that you need it because you're 9 away. And they're there, and then rolling for Lamatis, and he gets in as well. And there's Death Company clambering all over this building here. Now this one needs a 9-inch charge to get into the Poxwalkers, and they roll a 6. Right, starting off the fight phase. Spending a point for vengeance for Cadiel. We roll up, you didn't get your command point back again, and basically it's like Death to the False Emperor. On any 6s, you generate extra attacks. Now this is going to be interesting. Over here, there's 3 Death Company engaging the Malignant Playcaster. There's 1 in base and 2 other guys within an inch of a guy within an inch. So they're all hitting him. These 2 guys have chain swords. So Death Company have 2 attacks. +1 for the chainsword, 3 attacks, and +1 for Black Rage. This is 8 attacks. All right, you're hitting on 3s. And you're in range of Lamatis, so you're re-rolling a hit.
And I've got 3
additional things. Let's do those re-rolls first, because then you might get... And how many 6s did you get?
I've got 3, so I've done the and then 3
additional ones. Nice. So that was 8 hits. We had a bit of a terrain malfunction, but we fixed it. Right, you would be wounding on 5s because your strength 4, toughness 5, but it's +1 to wound because of red thirst. So wounding on 4s. And
that's 3.
Only 3. So I have 3 armor saves on my Malignant Playcaster. Fail 1 and 1 disgustingly resilient, which I fail. He's down to 3 wounds left, but you got a Power Fist. So this guy's got 3 attacks. 2 for Black Company and 1 for his thingy bob.
Oh, crikey.
And those 6s are extra attacks. And you re-roll your attacks because you're of Lamatis.
No.
Nice. So 4 hits. Strength 8, toughness 5. Would be winning on 3s. You're winning on 2s because of red thirst. 2 wounds. You get a command point.
How many wounds has he got?
He's got 3 left. And Power Fist do D3 wounds.
Yes, do it.
Okay, so that's 3. Do you get command point back on a 5-up, sir?
Nope.
No, you don't. How many are you down to now?
2.
2 left. Right, I need to make 6-up saves for these. I don't make any of them, and each of these does D3 damage on that Playcaster. 5 disgustingly resilience. I've got 3 wounds left. And he makes 2 of them. He's dead unless I spend a command point to keep him alive. There's no more attacks coming at him, and that's an additional smite. I'm going to have to do it. Let's spend a command point. He's dead. The Playcaster has fallen. Right, these 3 have fought, and I've just spent 2 command points to interrupt and ahhing about it. I need to try and hurt these before they hurt me. So 3 attacks going into the fresh squad, 3s to hit, and that's 2 hits with Death to the False Emperor. I get an extra hit, just 2 hits. And I'm wounding on 4s, and I'm re-rolling 1s because it's a plague weapon. That's 1 wound with a 3-up save, sir, which you make. And then the other 3 are going into the squad that's already hit. 2 of them hitting on 3s and wounding on 4s. 1 more wound, 1 more 3-up save, which you make. And then there's the Power Fist, the Plague Champion, hitting on 4s because it's, 1 hit. Wounding on Strength 8, wounding on a 2. That's a wound, 6-up save, which you fail. This does D3 damage. So 1 6-up Death Company super save. No, I did take 1 out, but unfortunately it's one of the ones that already fought. Right, so that wasn't very successful. So now we're going to do all the attacks from the remaining 2 squads together. There's 5 chain swords in there, so this is 20 attacks. Hitting on 3s and re-rolling. Then with the re-roll and with the 6s, that ended up being 19 hits in the end. And these are winning on 4s. 13 wounds to save. This is before the other weapons come piling in. So this is my 3-ups. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that's good.
I make all of them but 2. Disgustingly resilient. Nice. I make all of them. The chainswords do nothing. 2 power swords there. So that's 6 attacks, hitting on 3s and re-rolling. And then you've got 3 6s, so that's 3 more hits with Vengeance for Sanguinius. Nice, they're all there. Strength 4, toughness 5. It would be 5s to wound, but with red first, 4s to wound. Ooh, that wasn't great.
No.
Is that only 2?
Yeah, it is only 2.
That is only 2. So if I could have 2 dice. Okay. Thank you very much. Swords are -3, so I need 6s. Oh dear, this isn't going well for you. There's a hammer in there. There's Lamati's got in there.
Yeah.
The fist, he's already hit the plague caster. All right, the hammer, 3 attacks. This is 4s because it's a hammer, re-rolling everything. And that is 2 hits. The 6 gives you an extra attack, which you re-roll and you didn't get. Strength 8, toughness, would be 3s but 2s because of red thirst. That's 2 wounds. I need 2 6s again. And I get 1 of them. Hammers do a flat 3 damage, so I need 3 disgustingly resilience. Nope, so 1 Plague Marine dies. And now we've got Lamati's, and that will be it. Now Lamati swings. He's got 5 attacks plus 1 because he's in the Death Company, so 6 attacks. He hits on 2s. And you reroll the 1 because he's in range of himself. And that's 3 more 6s, so you get 3 more attacks.
No, it's only 4.
Ah, yeah, it was for the other squad. Yeah. It's plus 2 strength, so he wounds on. It would be 3s, but now 2s. And no reroll in the wound. What's the minus value on the AP, sir? Minus 2. So I need 3 5-up armor saves. I make 1. And how much damage?
It's D3.
D3 each. So 1 and a 3. So wounds can't spill over. So the 1 is a 5-up, which I make. And then the 3, I need 3 5-ups, which I don't make. You kill another dude. So in the end, not that great. I did kill a Death Company, but he killed 3 of me and the Plague Caster. I need to make a morale test. 1 plus 3 is 4. They hold. I was expecting the Death Company to wipe me out there, but I'm disgusting and resilient. Then at the end of turn 2 for the Blood Angels, they get a point for Assassinate, making it 5 points to 1. And then we just remembered, kill confirmed, you get a point for killing every single unit. So far the Blood Angels have wiped out one of the Crawlers and the Malignant Plaguecaster. That's an additional 2 points. I've taken out a Tactical Marine squad. That's an additional point for me. Basically it's 7 points for the Blood Angels and only 2 points for the End of All Things. Now the Blood Angels, there's still a long gap between me and their line. Still a long way for me to go, but the Death Company are here. 2 squads already engaged in combat. 1 squad sitting in the wind so far. Remember, you can't discard orders as well, where you need to kill stuff in this kill confirm mission. So he still got the order to take out that Lord of Contagion there, and he will not be able to discard it. But I've still got the order in my hand to kill 7 models in 1 turn, and I have not been able to discard that yet myself. So it's getting bloody, it's getting messy in the streets of Babington 9. Let's go on to Death Guard, turn 2. Here are the Death Guard orders. Death begets light. Just kill 7 models, and I can't get rid of it until 7 models are dead. Domination is not going to happen. Take every objective. Overwhelming firepower. Kills something in the shooting phase. Could happen if I put bullets in my guns rather than sponges. Right, I need overwhelming firepower and I need to kill 7 models, and the Warlord has dropped in here because the second in command, the second of the brothers, is going that way. Measuring up, that's going to be an 8-inch charge with the 3 inches up. I'm 9 inches away to get into combat with the Death Company and relieve them. So if he's going that way, I need the Warlord standing firm because I'm very aware that Mephiston is in that Land Raider along with some juicy goodness. I tried breaking out of combat, measuring very carefully, trying to get the Plague Marines out of combat. But these 3 would have got down that way. This would have got down, and I wouldn't have ended up in coherency. They only have a 5-inch move. You can't advance when you fall back, so I couldn't have rolled a dice and gone further. Basically, I can't break out of combat and remain in coherency, so my Plague Marines have to stay locked up with those 2 units of Death Company, which is not good, because I need overwhelming firepower. As well as killing 7 models, I need to shoot stuff off the table. So this squad moving forward with the Malignant Plaguecaster looking at that. Both of the bloke drones advancing. Now one's on 1 wound, but when it's on 1 or 2 wounds, it still moves 6 inches. And the Noxious Blightbringer was within range of him. And I got a good dice roll, and he's up to spew on that Razorback, which has got troops in it, along with the second one to spew on the Razorback. The second one was up here. If it blows up, maybe it takes out a Tactical Marine with it as well. I need to double team that Razorback with those fetid bloat drones because the Crawler didn't do it last turn. So putting as much firepower as I can to bear, along with the Plague Marines. The light launchers are now in range. Need to kill something in the shooting phase. The point's 7-2. So far behind. Need to push back. Talking about pushing back, these Poxwalkers pulled back. If Luke wants to charge his Death Company into the corner of the table to kill 10 Poxwalkers worth 70 points at the end of turn 3, that'll be great. I wouldn't mind that. You could do that. You can have those Poxwalkers.
Thanks.
No problem. Let's go to the psychic phase. Alright, let's smite. Let's smite again like we did last summer. And that's a pass. There's no denying down here, so this will do D3 mortal wounds, and that's 2 mortal wounds on those dudes there. They're the closest unit. And then I'm going to do Miasma of Pestilence on the Plague Marines. It'll be -1 to hit them if I roll a 6. And a roll a 6. It's greater than 7, so Pestilential Fallout would kick in if you were 7 inches away. That would be an additional mortal wound from a Malignant Plaguecaster. But you're more than 7 inches away. So my mind bullets didn't break my mind that time. Actually managed to kill a couple. Right, now let's shoot some stuff. So I've got the camera in my hand. So these Plague Marines, I need overwhelming firepower, are going to shoot everything they can at this squad here. There's 2 Blight launchers in there, and they hit on 3s. And that many hits. They're strength 6, toughness 4, so I wound on 3s. 3 wounds at -2, but you get a +1 because you're in a... And you fail. You fail. That's overwhelming firepower. I managed to get an objective. Mm-hmm. Yay. And I kill 4 models. Yep. I need to kill 3 more. So, bloke drone number 1, the really injured one, is going to spew in with his plague spewers. And that's 10 hits. Nice. But he's on 1 wound. So he's strength 4. So this wound's on 5s. But I do get to reroll 1s. And that's not bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wounds. 6 wounds at -1. And you take 4 wounds.
Yep.
It isn't injured yet, right?
Yep.
It isn't injured, so it's down to 6 wounds. Now the second one will spew in, plague spewers. This time only doing 4 hits.
Do we roll that one?
No, it's re-rolled a wound. That was the number of shots. This is the number of wounds. So strength 6, so still 5s. Re-rolling 1s. 3 more. 3 more wounds. 4 up save. And you make them. So it's down to 6 remaining. Right, next up, firing everything from the Plague Marines into it, because that's the only thing it can see. This crawler can actually see the Land Raider. So if I manage to crack it open with the Plague Marines, then I can fire the entropy cannons that way. So let's do these Plague Marines into the Razorback. There is 4 bolt guns, hitting on 3s, and wounding on 5s. 1 wound with a 3-up save. That just 1 wound. Thanks for rolling 2 dice, but you made it. You're fine. And then the Blight launchers, 3s to hit. Oh, they all hit. This is strength 6, toughness 7, and I reroll 1s because it's a plague weapon. So only 1 wound at -2, and you make that as well. So how many has it got left?
6.
6. So I'm going to have to fire this thing at it, which completely whiffed last turn. So plague burst crawler. Firing 2 entropy cannons. I'm going to fire all the guns. I'm not split firing. 4s to hit. Both hit. Strength 8. 3s to wound. 1 wound. It's -4 AP. You don't get a save. Don't get a save. I saw you shaking that dice. I want to save. No, it's mean gun. Mean. And it does D6 damage. 5 damage. Down to 1.
Yep.
Okay, fire from the sky. Let's drop the mortar. It can fire indirectly and it has 1 shot. A dud shell again. A sponge hits on a 4. Misses. And the slugger. Oh no, am I not going to be able to... Okay, the slugger hits 3 times because I didn't move. It's strength 5. I need 5s. 1 wound at -1. So 1 4-up save or the Razorback is toast. Unless you want to spend a command point. I've only got... I don't think there's a storm bolter here that could fire at it, and that's about it. It's up to you.
Yeah, I will.
You will? You're going to spend a command point? I baited you again.
No, it's because...
No, what?
The squad in there could be assaulted.
Yes, they can be.
So,
no, but they both advanced. They both advanced. They can't assault. Decisions. So not spending the command point, only got a couple of left, only 2 left in your hand, trying to keep them safe, holding on to those command points. Right, 6, it blows up. It doesn't blow up. How many guys decide? 5. Roll a bunch of 1s.
One.
There is 1/1. So 1 will die as they come out of the wreck and get a plague spewer, acid, filth, bile stuff, nasty stuff, spill all over them. Right, that's it for my shooting phase. Some combi bolters firing off, doing no damage at all. So I have scored overwhelming firepower, and so far 6 models have died. 4, 1 in an explosion, and the Razorback. That's 6 models have died. Need to make sure 1 more dies before this turn is out to get that other objective. So now we've got some charges coming on. Plague Marines don't have pistols, so I can't fire them in combat, which is a shame. But now we've got some charges coming on. As discussed, the drones can't charge, they're both advanced. So I need him to get in there. And I need a 9. And 9 is not Nurgle's favourite number.
Ooh.
And that's a 10.
Nice.
Lord of Contagion is in. Can the Noxious Blightbringer make it in as well? Maybe? No, he needed an 11. Right, straight on to the fight phase. The Nurgle's gift special rule kicks in at the start of the turn, so it's not happening now. We're way into the turn. And the Lord of the Contagion, one of the brothers, has 4 attacks and he hits on 2s. And he's got Death to the False Emperor, so that's 2 more hits. Hitting on 2s. And they don't further explode, that's 6 hits. His Plague Reaper weapon is strength 6, your toughness 4. I'm wounding on 3s. And it's a plague weapon, I reroll 1s. I got 5 wounds at -3 AP, sir, and each of these does 3 damage each. 5 6-up saves. Did you fail all of them?
Yes.
And then you've got to do, it's 3 damage each. So you've got to roll 3 6s, 3 6s, 3 6s, we'll do it off camera. Long story short, that Lord of Contagion, the Brothers Grimm, has wiped out the first of the Death Company units. Brilliant. Consolidated a little bit. And now we're into my fight phase. And are you spending your last 2 command points to interrupt?
No.
No. So I select one of my units to go first. And so it's this squad here. And suddenly I'm feeling a bit chipper. The 3 Plague Marines hitting the Death Company. 3s to hit. 1 hit. And it's Death to the False Emperor, so I get another more. So that's 2 hits.
Do you get any rerolls with the Warlord next year?
No, he's not. That's with Chaos Lords. And he's a Lord of Contagion. He's a little bit different.
He certainly is.
He is, yeah. So that was 2 hits in the end with Death to the False Emperor. And 2 wounds, 2 3-up saves. Oh, and 1 6-up Death Company. No. Okay, one of the normal Plague Marines stabs one with the Plague Knife. Then I hit you with a fist, 4s.
Oh.
And they both miss. And that's the end of my assault. And now you get to pile in. You've got Lamarties there and the remaining Death Company smacking that Plague Marine group. So we have 9 Chainswords attacks. Black Rage only counts on the turn that you charge. However, they will re-roll all hit rolls all the time because of Lamarties, so 3s to hit. So all 9 hit, and Red Thirst only kicks in on the turn you charge as well, so now it's 5s to wound. And I can see 3 wounds.
Yep.
So 3-up saves, and I make them all.
Lovely.
Make them all, because that Red Thirst, that +1 to wound is on the turn you charge or get charged, right?
Yeah.
And he charged the other squad, which is why his extra wound didn't spill over. Right, now we've got some swords. Or...
Sword, yeah.
Okay.
Just 2 on this one.
Yep.
Both
2 hits. Nothing. Hammer time.
Hammer time. Can't touch this.
I like it. 1 hit, because it's unwieldy.
Reroll.
2 hits, yeah, I like it. And 3s to wound now. They both wound. It is -3, so I need 6s. I fail them both, and each of them does a flat 3 damage. So 3 disgustingly resilience.
Ooh.
Nearly stayed alive, and the other guy dead. So 2 Plague Marines get smushed. Is that the Death Company? And now it's just Lamarties.
Yes.
So we're now on to Lamarties' 5 attacks,
Yes.
because he didn't charge. And he hits on 2s and he rerolls. And he's strength 6, it's +2, so you're winning on 3s. That's pretty good. 3 wounds, and it's -2, -3. Okay, so 5-ups. I make, is that 1? Yeah, I make 1. It's D3 damage each.
Mm-hmm.
Killed 2 so far.
Oh, sorry. I'll reroll
Yeah,
that.
okay. A 1 and a 2. So you killed 2 so far. 1 wound, disgustingly resilient, is alive. And then the 2 wound guy is alive.
Nice.
I keep making them. So only 2 Plague Marines fall. This is what it looks like at the end. The Lord of Contagion, one of the brothers, is not in combat with that squad yet. And no morale test to make. You killed only 2 in this squad and their leadership 8, and they hold firm, holding up that Death Company assault. But long story short, I did get Death Begets Life. I did kill more than 7 models. That's a point. I did get overwhelming firepower. That's a point. So that's 7 points to 4. Plus I killed a unit, 5. And a unit, a Razorback, 6. And a unit up there, 7. It's 7 points to 7. Nurgle's number. Do you like it? I like it.
I like it.
Grandfather Nurgle,
Getting
7
close.
each as we go into turn 3. Here are the orders for the Blood Angels. Decapitate and strike. Get rid of that Brother's Grim that wiped out that member of the Death Company. Anyone can shoot at him. Anyone can assault him so long as he dies. That's a point for decapitate and strike. And Psychological Warfare. Make the Death Guard fail a morale test. Master the Warp. Cast a psychic power. So a random draw of orders from High Command here. Is there confusion in the Blood Angels lines? What'd you say, Luke?
I said, no, they're quite right. All the commands, Mephiston's out on the board.
Where is Mephiston?
Out here. And he's got, obviously, all the psychic shenanigans he can do.
Yes, okay. Mastering of the Warp. These guys have decided not to go after the Poxwalkers in the corner, right?
Yeah, they've advanced.
They advance, so they're not assaulting?
No.
Okay, alright. Where are the other guys? There wasn't a load of other guys
They're
in
still
there.
in there.
Really?
Yeah.
You're keeping a chaplain in there and some more Death Company in there
Yes.
and into turn 4.
Mm.
Okay, alright. So the Razorback's empty, the Rhino's empty, sat up there. You need Psychological Warfare, Master the Warp. I'm confused. What's the plan?
Right, the plan is Mephiston is out. He can do lots of stuff on his turn. He can do 3 psychic tests. He
could do 2. He knows
can
3.
do 2. He knows 3. He can do 2.
Yes.
Apologies. I'm getting all excited because in my mind this could work really well. He's got Wings of Sanguinus.
Yes.
So he's already travelled out of the Land Raider to his full capacity. He can then
move again and then smite him or something.
Yes.
Okay, and then assault him.
Yeah.
So Mephiston casting Wings of Sanguinius, Warp Charge 5,
Right,
and that's a
good
pass. I can't deny it, and he gets to move again. So Mephiston gains a fly keyword, moves 12, he's all of a sudden up here. Now quickening.
Which he does.
And that's an 11. He passes. That gives him extra attacks and
D3,
stuff, right?
Yeah.
Opening up the shooting phase, pistols into close combat against those plague rains did nothing. Now Mephiston firing his plasma pistol into the back of the Lord of Contagion. Shoot a man in the back, would you?
Yes, I would. It's death cards. They're dirty anyway, so it's fine.
Overcharging?
Yes, I will.
You are?
Yeah, I will do.
Brilliant.
Command point.
Command point. Oh. Mephiston hits on the 2. You're fine. Everything's fine. And then you roll a 5. You got your command point back. So everything's fine. Strength 8, toughness 5. Wounds on a 3. And it wounds. I have a 4-up cataphracti thingy bob. Which you make.
Yeah.
So after all that, it didn't burn me at all. And over here, twin las cannon going into the fully healed 1-ish. Okay, that's 1 hit. And it does wound. I need a 5-up demon save, which I don't make. It does d6 damage, 2 damage, 2 disgustingly resilience. I make one of them. It drops it down from 8 wounds to 7 wounds. That's all it did. What else you got?
Melter, it's that one.
Okay, where are the other shots going from that squad?
Bolters as well.
Everything,
Yeah,
okay.
just everything.
Melter.
2 of them.
Is there?
Yeah, I've got combi.
Okay.
And I've got 1 hit.
Okay. Wounds on a 3. Does wound a demon. And I save it.
Bolters.
Bolters. 3s to hit. And 5s to wound. And that's 1. Just 1. 3-up save. And I save it. So in the end, after taking melter hits and las cannon hits and everything hits, there's a 1 on here somewhere, I drop a wound. Just 1 wound.
Right.
If you'd have shot at the fetid bloke drain with 1 wound left, that'd be a dead bloke drain, by the way.
Yes, I know. I've got this still to fire.
Land Raider. Fire the Land Raider.
Yeah. So I'm going to fire 1 at that, and then the rest at the most.
Split and fire works well, doesn't it? Las cannons. At the 1-on-1 wound, 1 hit. 3s to wound.
Going to reroll that.
You've already had a reroll in the shooting phase, I'm afraid.
I did,
with
right.
Mephiston. So the 1-on-1 wound is still on 1 wound. And then the 2 las cannons and heavy bolt was on the 1-on-7 wounds. These things are resilient. 2 hits, 3s to wound. Please kill it. I feel bad. I feel dirty bringing these things. I feel disgusting.
Oh, easy.
This is my 5-up demon save, which I make. So, yeah. See, playing Nurgle makes you feel dirty. Heavy bolters. 5 hits. 5s to wound.
1
wound. 1 4-up save, which I pass. And all of that did nothing. Nothing to those bloke drones. I need a shower. And that's the end of the shooting phase. And did you just take a wound off a bloke drone and that's it?
Yeah.
I think that's what you did.
Yeah, it's a bit rubbish.
I'm sorry. So this squad of 5 or 4 are going into the 1-on-1 wound left. That will definitely work out well. And then over here, what are we doing?
Meston and
Yes.
that chaplain.
Oh, both of them are going into...
Yes.
Right, he has no Overwatch. So let's do some Overwatch over here because I've got some Plague Spewers. And that's only 3 hits.
Probably kill me.
And it's strength 4. And I reroll 1s. 2 wounds at -1. So 2 4-up saves on these tactical marines. And they make it. And then let's go charging in. Oh, they're angry.
Oh, they're angry.
Mephiston is definitely in. We'll roll up for these guys. And then we're going to go on to the assault phase. What, this one here? Do you want to roll up? If you... Yeah, he's in as well. Okay, so charges met across the line. The Blood Angels will have to spill blood in combat if they can't shoot their foes. So coming around here, Mephiston swinging first. He's got the quickening on him, so that's 4 attacks plus D3. You're on 5, well done. So that's 7 attacks, which is good. And he hits on 2s. And his sword is strength times 2, so he's strength 10. So yeah, 7 attacks, hit on 2s.
Reroll the 1s.
Because the chaplain's right nearby. Brilliant, nice combo. All 7 hits get in there. Strength 10. I'm toughness 5. You're going to wound on 2s. That's all of them.
Yes.
Cataphracti, because it's -3 and D3 damage each, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Cataphracti Terminator armor, 4-up save. I make 3, so that's 4d3 damage on one of the Brothers Grimm. Right, I've got 10 disgustingly resilience to make. This is not a warlord, because this is the converted one. So 10 5-ups. He's got 6 wounds. And I make none of them. None at all. Mephiston slaps him down on his own. From there over to here, the sergeant's got chainsword, so it's 6 attacks in total, hitting on 3s. And it would be strength 4, toughness 7, wounding on 5s, but with red first, you're wounding on 4s. And you get 1 wound. 1 wound. I do have 1 save. It's a 3-up.
Oh.
And I make it, and they don't take it out. And then we're back over here. So those are the charging models. And now you can pick the Death Company or Lamatis to attack the Plague Marines first.
Death Company first.
Death Company? Good. So the remaining 2 Plague Marines might have a punch at Lamatis. After rolling to hit and wound, the chainsaws managed to land 5 blows. So 5 3-ups. And 2 disgustingly resilience. And I make 1 of them, leaving the sergeant left. Sword hitting and not wounding. And now it's 2 hits with the hammer. It's hammer time to take out that plague champion. 1 hit.
Reroll.
Oh yeah, because the 1 hit. Wounds on A3. That's a wound. I need A6, which I fail. And then 3 disgustingly resilience, which I fail. You take out the plague marines. Then after that combat, we went back over here to the fetid bloke drone, and it managed to take out 1 of those Blood Angels. And that's the end of the turn. No morale tests to take anywhere. And the Blood Angels did achieve decapitating strike with some magical shenanigans there by Mephiston piling out of the Land Raider, Wings of Sanguinius, and then smacking that Lord of Contagion. That's decapitating strike and Master of the Warp, which is 2 points. And taking out the Lord of Contagion and the Plague Marines next to him is another 2 points. So the Blood Angels are 4 points in the lead. The Plague Marines and the Death Guard are getting pushed back further and further and further into this corner. The noose is closing. Let's go on to Death Guard, turn 3. Ditch and Domination. Told High Command that isn't going to happen, but I've now got Psychological Warfare like the Blood Angels. I need to secure Objective 2 and defend Objective 6. Here we are, after the end of all things have moved, and here's Objective 6. It keeps coming back into play. I need to defend it. I rolled a 1 for advancing. The zombies, after stumbling backwards, something controlling their brains, some psychic, Death Guardy, Nurgly voices ringing in their head, pulled them away from the Death Company, and now they're going back to secure that objective that they should never have left. But I won't start defending it this turn. In the meantime, I need to secure objective 2, and I completely forgot where that one was. Where is objective 2? Oh yes, over here. There's objective 2. So the drone on 1 wound left has jumped forward 6 inches, and I am securing objective 2, and I can spew on them, and the other drone can spew on them as well. This one won't be able to assault because it fell back, but the other bloke drone will be able to assault. Plague Marines coming around this way. The other horde of zombies coming up onto this building here, and the other horde of zombies are blocking the pass. Remember, there's another unit of Death Company in there, plus a captain, plus a priest guy. What's his name?
Steve.
Steve. It's a priest.
Priest called Steve.
Priest called Steve. And then the Plague Caster advanced back this way because Mephiston is up there, and my malignant Plague Caster, 10,000 years old, smells something ancient here, something terrible, someone who should have died when the Red Thirst gripped him, and he wants to welcome him into Nurgle's arms. Here's my Warlord. I'm not going to be able to make... I'm not going to charge. Maybe I might charge. I might charge the Plague Marine. I don't know. Flanks in front of him. Lord of Contagion, Master of 1,000 Hells, ready to take on the Blood Angels. Didn't move the Plague Burst Crawler, because if I did, it'd be hitting on 5s, and I don't think I could really outrun them. They've got jump packs, so I might as well stay there and hit on 4s. But as you can see, the noose is definitely closing in. There is a ring of red around the end of all things. Have the Blood Angels got the Death Guard in a noose, or have the Death Guard drawn the Blood Angels into a deadly trap? Let's go on to the psychic phase. Malignant Plaguecaster, Miasma of Pestilence on them, 18-inch range. I need a 6. That passes, so that's -1 to hit. And he's going to chuck out Putrescent Vitality on them as well. I need a 6. And that passes, so they're +1 strength and toughness, and -1 to hit when you shoot them and assault them. I'm putting the cards there because I'm going to definitely forget that. Right, let's shoot some stuff. So, Plague Spewers into this squad of Tactical Marines here. And the first Fetid Bloat drone was able to take out that tactical squad, which meant the second drone and this squad of Plague Marines fired at the Land Raider. And I've scratched it. I've scratched the paintwork. I think I've taken 3 wounds off of it. How many wounds is off the Land Raider?
16, so you've got 13 now.
Oh yeah, 3 off of it. So that's shooting from over here. I've still got this thing. I'll do the Rhino into the Death Company right in front of me. 3s to hit. 3 hits. 4s to wound. 1 wound. 1 3-up save. You make. So that's that shooting. Plague Marines. Right, yeah, that was what I was going to do. The Plague Marines are closest to Mephiston. So let's do that. We've got 4 bolt guns here. Rapid firing. 3s to hit. 7 hits. Mephiston's toughness 5, right?
Yep.
So it's 5s to wound. 3 wounds with bolt gun shells.
2 ups.
He's got 2 up.
Yeah.
Takes 1. He's got a 5 up. Feel no
Yes,
pain
he
or
does,
something.
yeah.
Mephiston takes a wound. Right. My sergeant has got a plasma gun, which I'm overcharging because the coil has burnt out the coolant system. 3s to hit. 1 hit. Strength 8. Doesn't wound. It doesn't wound. And then 2 blight launchers. So 2 blight launchers coming in. 3s to hit. 2 hits. Strength 6 this time, so I will be wounding on 3s. Both wound -2. So 4s.
Yep.
Make 1 save. Make another save. Overcharged plasma pistol. Noxious Blightbringer. Hits. Doesn't wound. Now the question is, do I fire that at Mephiston? Or do I fire it at the Land Raider, because there's still some juicy goodness in that Land Raider. And I can see that Land Raider. And it would be nice to take it out. Land Raider or Mephiston? Mephiston or Land Raider? On a 1, 2, 3, this will fire all his guns at Mephiston. He's firing at the Land Raider. The dice gods have decided. 2 entropy cannons. 4s to hit. Both hit. Strength 8. Both wound at -4. So 6-up saves on a Land Raider.
Nope.
And it's got 13 left. And this does d6 damage each. 11 damage. Thank you, dice gods. And then d6 shots with a Plague Burst Mortar. 3 shots. Hitting on 4s. They all hit. Strength 8. Rerolling 1s because it's a plague weapon. They all wound at -2. So 3 minus 2s is 3 4-ups.
So, yeah.
And 2 get through for 2d3 damage each.
Gone.
2. Just 2 damage.
Gone.
How many wounds has it got left? Is it gone?
It's gone.
Is it gone?
Yeah, it went down to 2 when you did the water.
Did it?
Yeah.
Dice God said blow up. So it's gone. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. On a 6 it does blow up.
Ooh.
It nearly blew up. See, I trusted in the power of the Dice Gods, and they rewarded me by destroying that Land Raider. But Mephiston will still be alive and...
Running around like a loony.
I need a tea. This is getting too much. Right, Luke is sorting them all out. One guy died in the explosion, or not the explosion, but crambling out of the Land Raider. Crambling is a word now. I think I meant scrambling. Getting them out behind where the Land Raider was because it doesn't want to get charged by my drone and instead wants to charge the drone. That actually makes quite a lot of sense. Now, do I really want to charge Mephiston?
Yes, you do.
With some Plague Marines. You see, if I charge him and lose horribly, if I charge with these guys, that means your Death Company are free to charge my Warlord, and at the moment, I've got a bit of a screen.
Plus he's got quickening still.
And he's still got quickening. Right, this Rhino is definitely charging those Death Company. So you get to Overwatch. I am more than 2 inches away, so I'll be in, because you're not going to kill me. And if you don't blow it up with your power fist, then when you fall out of combat, you won't be able to charge in. That's what I'm doing with the Rhino.
Right, so I've got 2 hand flamers.
Have you?
Yeah, so that's 10.
Oh no.
9, sorry.
9.
I can't add up.
Maybe you won't get in. And I need to think about charging Mephiston or not. I don't know whether it's a good idea. I don't know.
So it's strength 3. So 6s. Nothing. Oh, 1.
And some bolt pistols as well. We'll do the remaining Overwatch off camera. Right, I thought about it. These Plague Marines are definitely not charging in. He's got the quickening, and we've got heroic interventions coming on there with re-rolling to hit, hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s. Those Plague Marines will just be dead. I'd rather get some Overwatch shots in first, thank you very much. Now I need this Rhino to survive, because if this Rhino dies, then you can consolidate forward. If it survives, then they can't just break out of combat and charge again. So the Rhino goes first, and does nothing at all, and then the Death Company hit back. And they hit on 3s.
Re-rolling.
Oh yeah, because there's a chaplain right nearby. And then you're going to be wounding on 5s? Oh no, you're going to be wounding on 4s because of the red thirst, because you're thirsty for a tea. Managed to smack me 8 times with the chainswords. 3 up, 1, 2. I lose 2 wounds. I've got 3 left. It's a power fist or something, right?
Yeah, power fist.
Okay.
Re-roll those.
Oh yeah. Lamarty's
1.
are stood next by 1 hit. Strength 8. Wounds on a 3. On a 2 because of red thirst. That's a wound. I need to make a 6. No. And this does D3 damage. And if you do 3...
1.
That's 1. So it's down to 2 wounds left. 2 earlier plus 1 with a fist. It worked. It worked. You can fall back out of there, but you can't charge. And that's the end of my turn 3. I think. Yes, it is. Right, I killed 2 units, the Tactical Squad and the Land Raider, and I'm securing Objective 2. So I get 3 points. That's 10 points to the Death Guard, 11 points to the Blood Angels. I'll be ditching that psychological warfare thing because I don't think the Blood Angels are going to be running away anytime soon. They know no fear. So the Blood Angels are still in the lead just by 1 point as we go to Blood Angels turn 4. Here are the orders for the Blood Angels. Area denial. Make sure there are no Death Guard within 6 inches or 12 inches of the centre, and the centre is swarming with Death Guard. And no prisoners on Blood and Guts. They just need to kill stuff. No prisoners get a point for every unit you kill. Blood and Guts get a point for everything unit you kill in the assault phase. If you kill more than 3 units or more, potential to get D3 points here. So the Blood Angels need to do what they do. Spill the blood of the enemy. Right, here we are after the Blood Angels movement phase, and if they kill 3 things, they get D3 points. If they kill 3 things in combat, they'll get an additional D3 points for that no prisoners and Blood and Guts. Remember, they're getting a point as well for every unit they wipe out. So the Death Company is staying engaged with that Rhino. It's on 2 wounds left. That should be a dead unit in combat. We have Mephiston, Lamarties, a chaplain, about to go flying into these Plague Marines. That should be another unit dead in close combat. Over here, we've got the priest, Steve, and the other chaplain, and the other death company about to come wailing into combat. Area denial is highly unlikely unless the pox walkers and the plague marines get wiped out. Mephiston casting Winds of Sanguinius one more time.
Does it?
And that passes. Yeah, okay. What else you got?
Smite.
Smite.
Does it?
I'll try and deny that one. I don't deny it. Malignant Paycaster here. So this will do D3 mortal wounds.
Only the one.
One mortal wound. My Revoltingly Resilient doesn't work on mortal wounds, so this is just a normal Disgusting Resilient, which I fail. The Warlord is down to 5 wounds left. Right, shooting phase. Las Cannons going into this bloke drone on 1 wound. 1 hit. It needs a 3 to wound. And you wound. 5 up demon save. It gets through this time. For 4 damage. I need to make 4 Disgustingly Resilients.
Oh!
I make 3 of them. Do I want a command point yet? I do. I do, because it'll mainly be really annoying. 5 up.
Oh, that's really annoying.
I make it. Then after the las cannons, we had pistols from this Death Company squad firing at the bloke drone, doing nothing. Mephiston overcharging his plasma pistol, firing at the Lord of Contagion, doing nothing. The Death Company behind firing into the Plague Marines, doing nothing. In fact, it was just an Inferno pistol or something.
Furnace pistol, yeah.
Furnace pistol went into that noxious Blightbringer and knocked 3 wounds off of him, and that was the only damage done in the shooting phase. Right, then in the charge phase, Death Company make it into combat here along with the Priest Steve and the Chaplain. I killed one of the Death Company on the way in. The Plague Spewers doing some work in the Overwatch phase, unlike over this side, which I didn't get any wounds or hits in during Overwatch. So Mephiston is in again on the Lord of Contagion, the Warlord this time. This company, Death Company, they're not a Death Guard company, they're in on the Death Guard. And we've got Lamates and another Chaplain in on the Noxious Blightbringer, who only has 1 wound left. And you're playing Vengeance for Sanguinius again one more time.
Yeah.
This is on Mephiston.
Yeah.
So that's exploding dice on a 6. And on a 5 up, you get your command point back.
Yeah.
And you get command point back. Mephiston, 5 attacks, hitting on 2s. And any 6s there?
No.
No, but they all hit. Strength 10, toughness 5, wounding on 2s.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of wounds. All 5 wounds?
Yeah.
So I need 5 4-up invulnerable saves to make. And I make 2 of them. How much damage does this do?
That's
D3 each. And in the end, you do 6, 7 damage. I have Revoltingly Resilient. Will this Warlord be able to stand firm? 1 minute. Yeah, let's do it again, sorry. 4 ups. I make 4. He has 5 wounds. He's got 1 wound left. 1 wound left. Back to the suppurating play. Each time I pass a save, on a 4 up it does a mortal wound to the unit that hurt me. I pass 2 saves. So on 4s, Mephiston, that's 2 4s. He takes 2 mortal wounds, which he ignores on a 5.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. So he is down to how many left?
2.
So basically, filth and ichor splashes onto him as he tries to take out the Warlord. Fails to do so. I will be able to strike back, but we've got some more assaults coming in first. I've got 3 command points left. I don't really want to spend any on interrupting yet. No, let's keep them in my pocket for now. Tell a lie, this is critical. It's going to be -1 to hit me and everything, so I think I'm going to spend the 2 command points to hit the Death Company first. I think I have to. Sorry.
You have to. No, that's fine.
Sorry.
You have to.
It's got to be done. It's just a Horus type thing. I'm going to do it. So there's a sergeant in there, champion, plague champion, and 6 dudes. So 6 dudes will be hitting you on 3s. And I get 2 hits. But they are 6s, so that's Death to the False Emperor, extra hits. Okay, so 3 hits in total. And I'm strength 5 right now because I've got Putrescent Vitality, so I'll be wounding on 3s. And of course I roll 2 2s because I'll be re-rolling 1s. 3 up save, which you make. That didn't go so well. Okay, Power Fist.
To the face.
4s. 1 hit. I'm strength 10 right now. That's a wound. 6 up save. which you fail.
And then save.
Yeah, but it does D3 damage.
Yeah.
So it does 2 damage. You need to make another 6.
Nope.
No.
One's gone.
So after all of that, I killed only one death company. You can take the one away with a hammer if you want.
I'm alright.
No, you're going to keep that one. So 2 chainswords in there. That's 8 attacks, hitting on 3s and hitting on 4s. Because it's -1 to hit because of thingy bob. And re-rolling to hit because there's a chaplain nearby.
That's rubbish.
Okay. And I'm toughness 6, so you're wounding on 5s, but +1 because of red thirst. 1 wound, 3 up save, which I make. So sword, force to hit with a reroll. They all hit. Force to wound, 1 wound, 6 up, and then a 6 up disgustingly resilient. 5 up, sorry. Nope, you kill 1. And now you got the hammer. Now this is hitting on 5s because it's unwieldy and another -1.
3 5s.
Yeah, you got 3 5s. I couldn't see it because of the angle of the light. That was brilliant. Winning on 3s, down to 2s because of red thirst. They all wound. 3 6s coming up. 1 6. So, 2 get through. I need 5s, disgustingly resilient. 1's dead and 5s because it does a flat 3 damage. Another one's dead. You managed to wipe out 3. And it looks like this. Only 4 Plague Marines standing. And then Lamati's wiped out that noxious Blightbringer with ease. That's the combat. Over here, we'll come back to this because there's some more charging units. All of these guys, this Black Death Company, into this fetid bloke drone here. So Chaplain, swing him first. What's he using, his fist or his crozier? Fist, okay. So this is a B3s to hit because it's unwieldy. You hit anyway.
Yeah, I'm just over
it normally hits on 2s, strength 8, toughness 7, so it would be 3s, but 2s because of red thirst. And 2 wounds. It's -3, so 2 demon saves. I make 1, it does D3 damage. 1 damage. 1 disgustingly resilient on the drone, which I fail. It's down to 6 wounds left, that's the chaplain. Now chainsaw from the Death Company. 3s to hit. With the reroll, because there's a chaplain right nearby. And it would be 4s to wound, 5s to wound, but it's 4s because of red thirst. 6 wounds, 6 3-ups, and 1 disgustingly resilient. And it only takes 1 wound from the chain swords. And it's hammer time.
So the priest.
Oh, this is the priest, okay, yeah. 4 hits. 4s to wound. He has a chainsword as well. 1 wound, 1 3-up, which I make. Now it's hammer time.
Hammer time.
So 3 hits with the hammer. Hitting on 4s, re-rolling because of the chaplain. 2 hits. Wounding on, it would be 3s, but it's 2s because of red thirst. 1 with a command point. Yep. Okay, 2 get through. Do you get your command point back?
Nope.
Nope. You're down to 1 left now.
Yep.
I have 2 5-up demon saves to make. And I fail them both. And that does 6 damage. I've got 5 wounds left and 6 disgustingly resilient saves to make. Need to make 2 of these. And I make 2 of these. So this bloke drone's on 1 wound left. This bloke drone's on 1 wound left. They're both alive. And that's all the charging units done. And that is very important because so far you've killed 1 thing in close combat, the noxious Blightbringer. If you'd have wiped out that drone, which is on 1 wound left, or wiped out the Lord of Contagion, which is on 1 wound left, that would have been 2 things dead because I think the Rhino's going to die. And if you kill 3 things in close combat, that would have been D3. But that isn't going to happen now. Just the noxious Blightbringer and probably this Rhino. Do you want to swing with a fist first? Because the fists are probably going to do it. So hit him with the fists. And you're in range of the chaplain now. And they both hit. And it's 3s to wound. And 1 wound. I need to make a 6-up, which I don't. And this does D3 damage, which is 2 damage. You do take out the Rhino. And I've got 1 command point left. And I have a rule called putrid detonation. I can choose to explode. Plague dudes are within 6. That's 1 on my Plague Marines. 5 up, which I make. And then D6 damage on this unit of Death Company. That's 1 wound on the Death Company. They ignore that on a 6 up as the Rhino goes pop, which they don't. D3 wounds on this chaplain. That's 3 wounds on the chaplain. Is he a Death Company chaplain?
He's not, but
that's mortal wounds.
Yeah,
so he just takes 3. I think he's down to 1 left. We're going to do D3 wounds on Lamates. That is 2 wounds on Lamates. He is Death Company, so he does get his...
Doesn't get it.
Doesn't get it. That guy died earlier.
So he's gone as well. So
is he gone? He only had 3 wounds?
He only has 3 wounds.
Does he?
That's a chaplain, yeah.
Nasty. And Lamates loses 2. And now this Death Company unit takes 1 wound.
Apologies.
Then you rolled a 6. One of these Death Company guys died. The Rhino gets taken away. We went back and checked. This Death Company, the chaplain, normal chaplain, is on 1 wound left. Lamates took 2 wounds. He took a wound. That's how it happens. Explosions happen. People die. Putrid detonation.
Pus everywhere.
Pus everywhere. Right, that's my turn. I attacked back over there. Didn't do any damage. The Blood Drone has only 1 attack when it's on 1 wound left. But now we have this Lord of Contagion. Lord of 10,000 years going against Mephiston. Mephiston failed to take his head. Will this be a mistake? I hit on 2s. No Death of the False Emperor's kicking in there. I'm strength 6, your toughness 5. I'm winning on 3s. And it's a plague weapon. I'm re-rolling 1s. This is -3 at 3 damage each. So if you fail any saves at all, Mephiston is dead. Does he have an invuln?
He's got 5 up till now, but no invuln.
He's got a 2 up save, right?
Yeah.
So this is 5 up armor save because it's -3. And you fail, you pass 1, yeah. You fail 2. So that's 6 damage in total. Each does 3 damage. That's 2 dice, and you've got to keep rolling them and rolling them. You've got 4 more dice to roll. 4 more dice. And Mephiston falls. Mephiston falls. Warlord kill. Lastly, morale test here. 3 + 4 is 7. I pass. You only lost 2 in the Death Company squad there, and you have no morale tests to make. And that's it for the Blood Angel's turn 4. And at the end of that turn, because he's on 1 wound and he's on 1 wound, and you only kill 2 things. So you get a point for no prisoners and a point for blood and guts. That's 2 points. And you kill 2 things, so that's 4 points, making it 15 points to 10. But I killed Mephiston. That's a point for Warlord and a point for killing a unit. It's 15 points to 12. But the Blood Angels are still in the lead, still 3 points in the lead as we go to Death Guard, turn 4. The end of all things mean to take ground. They need to defend 3, defend 6, and get behind enemy lines. The Death Guard are 3 points behind. I will get 2 points for defending Objective 6 at the end of Luke's turn, but I'm only going to get a point this turn for behind enemy lines, because that bloat drone over there is 1 point, is behind enemy lines there. That'll be 1 point. But defend Objective 3 isn't going to happen this turn. So, yeah, 3 points behind, +1, it'll be 2 points behind. I need to kill as much stuff as possible. So bloat drone falling out of combat and the poxwalkers are going to go in. I'm going to try and soften them up with the fetid bloat drone first. I think I'm going to fire that way with the plague marines and then try and charge the razorback to shut it down. I think that is the plan. Poxwalkers, of course, swarming all the way over this. And the other unit of plague marines fell back out of combat with the Death Company, so they can't shoot this turn. But my malignant playcaster did advance. Rolled a 5, got a nice 10-inch move. So we are in pestilental fallout range if I manage to pass some psychic powers. And of course, the mortar, the plague crawler, staying still. Now Mephiston has fallen. Will the Death Company crumble? Will the Death Guard be victorious?
No.
No? Or will the Imperium be victorious? Let's go on to the psychic phase. Playcaster, I'm going to cast Miasma of Pestilence on my Lord of Contagion, so it's -1 to hit him. And that's a 7. That passes, you can't deny. And because it's a 7 and there is an enemy unit within 7-inch range of him, it does cause a mortal wound. So you need a 6-up Death Company, feel no pain.
Nope.
No, and one of them dies. And now I'm going to smite. And that passes on a 7. That does D3 mortal wounds for 3, plus an additional mortal wound for pestilential fallout. So it's actually 4 6s on this squad here. No, and in the psychic phase, they've been smitten to death. Plague Burst Crawler. Right, this chaplain's got a 4 up and run, so I'm going to fire the 2 entropy cannons and the slugger at him. The mortar can fire indirectly, so that's going to fire up and over at that squad there. So let's do the slugger into the chaplain. 4s to hit. Only 1 hit. I need a 3 to wound because it's strength 5. Doesn't wound. 2 entropy cannons. 4s. Okay, so he walks through fire. He's fine. Let's rain some fire from the sky though onto that death company. D6 shots. 5 shots. 4s to hit them as they come charging forward. It all hits. Everything hits. This is strength 8. They're toughness 4. So I'll wound on 2s and reroll 1s because it's a plague weapon. 5 damage in the end on the death company at -2, sir. So 5 up saves. And you make 2. 1 minute. So you make 2. Each of these does D3 damage. So 1, 3, and 3. So can you roll 1 6? Because it doesn't spill over. No, 1's dead, and then 3 6s, then 3 6s. Another 1's dead, and another 1 bites the dust. 3 death company walk into iron hail from the sky and get shredded. That was okay. I like that. That was good. That was good. That was good. Right, let's go over here. Let's fire plague spewers into Rhino. And when I say Rhino, I meant Razorback. Didn't do any damage. Let's fire these ones into that one. Number of shots, 8 shots. It's not bad. 5, 6, 7, 8. Strength 4 now, however. And re-rolling 1s because it's a plague weapon. So in the end, I've done 5 wounds at -1 into the death company. Oh, 4 fails. 4 6-ups. 3 in the death company gone from that fetid bloat drone. That was nasty. Now the plague marines are going to fire at them. Mind you, that chaplain's closest. Razorback's closest. Yep, so I'm going to fire at the death company. 2 blight launchers going in. 3s to hit. 3 hits. Strength 6. 3s to wound. Re-rolling 1s. 1 wound on the death company -2, sir. Did you fail? This does D3 damage. Does 2 damage.
He's gone anyway.
Yeah, you rolled a 5. And then rapid fire bolt guns. And there's a plasma on the sergeant. Hits. Wounds. -3 for the plasma. Nope. And a 6-up. Because the death company. And you make it. I should have overcharged it. Maybe the coil was working randomly for a change. And now we've got the bolt guns. 3 hits and no wounds. And Stormbolter on the Rhino, or Combi Bolter, 2 hits, no wounds. And that's my shooting phase done. Yep, that's the end of my shooting phase. We've got some charges coming up. The Poxwalkers are going to charge into the Death Company only. Yeah, let's do that. And my HQ, Lord of Contagion, is going to go against the chaplain. And yeah, let's charge both of these guys. I think I'll be able to split my attacks. So we'll do Overwatch off camera and return in the charge phase. Oh, and one more thing, Plague Marines into Razorback. So no damage taken on Overwatch. The Plague Marines over here failed to charge. The priest or the chaplain heroically intervened.
Priest.
The priest intervened, but the chaplain not.
No.
You might as well get him in there. It's 3 hits.
No.
He wants to go after this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. And then over here, the Lord of Contagion is in on these 2 guys. Right, we're going to start here, picking this unit to charge first. I've got 4 attacks. I'm going to put 2 into the chaplain and 2 into Lamatis because splitting your attacks never goes wrong. I'm hitting on 2s. This is a 2 into the chaplain. And 1 hits, but with Death to the False Emperor, I get another attack. 1 hit on the chaplain. That's all I need. That's all I need. Lamatis. 1 hit on Lamatis. So 1 on each. So on the chaplain, strength 6, plague weapon, 3s to wound. Does a wound.
4 up in front.
Nope. Which you fail, and that's a flat 3 damage, dead chaplain. And then 6 is to wound Lamatis. He's got 2 wounds left. Sorry, 3s to wound because I'm strength 6 and a fail. And I've got no command points. No command points. The Lord of Contagion fails to take down Lamartes. Is that a mistake? We shall find out.
We hope so.
And over here, 15 Poxwalkers on 1 Death Company champion. That's 30 attacks. So I'd normally be hitting on 5s, but because there's 15 of them, I'm hitting on 4s. And I got 15 hits in. So, but this is 5s to wound. And that's pretty good. 6 3-up saves. Can he stand firm? Yes, he can. Yes, he can. Zombies pile for his brains, but he knows no fear. Then the Death Company hero and the priest manage to take out 4 Poxwalkers as they mumble brains. And then we go back over here for Lamartes, who's got 5 attacks. He would be hitting on 2s, but he's hitting on 3s because of Miasma of Pestilence. And he's re-rolling hits anyway, because he's a chaplain and they all hit. Strength 6, toughness 5. 3s to wound. Actually, I say 3s to wound, it's 2s to wound because of Red Thirst.
Yes.
So you get 4 in. And these are all -2?
Yes.
Okay, so 4 up invulnerable saves to make. I've got 1 wound left. 1 wound left.
Tight.
4 up invulnerable saves. I make 2 of them. 2 get through. Right, the 2 that I make on a 4 up, I do mortal wounds to Lamartes with the suppurating plate. He's got 2 wounds left, right?
Yeah.
So let's see if we kill each other. 4s. That's 2 wounds on Lamartes.
6 ups.
Lamartes will die. Lamartes will die. But he does 2d3 damage to the Lord of Contagion. What was that? 2?
2.
Just 2. So he falls as ichor and filth splash over him. You've done 2 to me, 2 get through, 2 revolting resilience of a 4 up, and I don't have any command points left for Horus. Mutually assured destruction. I fail 1, they wipe each other out. Maybe I was praying to the wrong Primarch there. Maybe it should have been Mortarion rather than Lupercal himself. Anyway, that's the end of my turn 4. And I get a point for behind enemy lines. And that's it. And I killed 3 units. I killed the unit of Death Company and the 2 chaplains, making it 16 points to 15. However, I lost a unit in return in this kill confirmed, so it's 16-16, and it was my warlord, 16-17. 1 point in it for the Blood Angels. It could not be closer. This battle for Babington 9 rages on and on. Let's descend into turn 5. The Blood Angels orders aerial assault. Basically, he needs to kill an enemy using one of his units that has the fly keyword. For example, a Death Guard company dude with a jump back on. He could achieve aerial assault. Witch Hunter, take out that malignant Plaguecaster and hold the line. Make sure there's no enemy units in his deployment zone. Here we are after the Blood Angels movement phase. Very few assets left. If he kills the malignant Plaguecaster, that's aerial assault and Witch Hunter. And the last Death Company veteran there has got a fist and he can go wheeling in. We did the morale off camera. He passed, so he's fine. Just needs to kill him for 2 points. Plus getting a point for killing a unit. Hold the line. That bloat drone has transgressed into the Blood Angels deployment zone. If twin laser cannons can finally take it down, that would be a point as well. And remember, you get a point for everything that you kill. This bloat drone's on 1 wound left. That Death Company guy can't get out of that fight. The priest is still stuck in that fight as well. And that's it, apart from an empty rhino over there. Very few assets left by the Blood Angels. They need to kill as much as they can, rack up as many points as they can, and hope the game ends in turn 5. Hope that the call to return to the landing areas and go back to the battle barge comes through as quickly as possible. Retreat and bombard this place from orbit. If that happens, if it ends in turn 5, they could win. If it goes on to 6 or 7, the end of all things will be victorious, and this will be the end of all things for this Blood Angels company. Okay, last cannons, a bloat drone. Are you feeling lucky?
No.
No. 3s to hit. 1 hit. 3s to wound. It wounds. All you need me to do is fail a 5-up invulnerable save. And a fail it. I saw it nearly go there. D6 damage. 1 damage. 1 disgustingly resilient. You couldn't write it.
Oh.
It's dead. You clear the lines. Well done. Too far away from anything to hurt with its putrid detonation. Right, now bolt pistol. Maybe you can bolt pistol it to death. That's a hit. Wounds on a 5. And it does wound. 3 up. Oh, when you're on a roll, you're on a roll. 5 up, disgustingly resilient. No. And you bolt pistol this one and it dies. And it blows up on a 4. It does blow up. Everything within 7 inches takes a mortal wound. So he takes a mortal wound. And does the priest help him? Or it's a 6-up death guard thing?
No, it's not. It would be just a wound.
Okay, so 6-up death company thing then. So he shoots the bloatrome and then it explodes and a bit of shrapnel takes him out. There's a wound on the priest, a wound on the fetid, on the poxwalkers who find it rather refreshing and disgustingly resilient, holds firm. Does he have a save?
Yes.
What's his save?
Oh, what, him?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't have a save.
Mortal wound.
Yeah, mortal wound, so he's down to...
And then this guy in the fight, he needs to roll a 6 to stay alive. No. Yeah, I forgot this guy was a chaplain, so he's got 3 wounds left. The priest has got 3 wounds left, but that death company hero, he gets ichor spewed all over him when that fetid bloat drone explodes, and he dies. And I think that's it for the shooting phase.
No, I've got bolt pistol.
Bolt pistol. It's going to have to go into those plague marines, I'm afraid.
It's fine.
And it misses.
He's 2 in range.
Right, now we've got the assault phase coming up. So the chaplain goes into the poxwalkers because he doesn't want to get shot at by everything, by being exposed. And you need to make, don't roll snake eyes and you'll be fine.
Reminds me of the last game.
You're fine. He is in. Right, starting off the combat, we did the priest at the same time because I've got no command points left to interrupt. And the chaplain and the priest have killed a couple of poxwalkers. But now onto the main event. Death Company dude, he's got 2 attacks plus 1 for the Black Rage, 3 attacks, and he hits on 4s because he's got a fist, and 2 get through. Strength 8, toughness 5, it would be wounding on 3s, but it's plus 1 for Red Thirst. Both wound, and it's -3. I need to make my 6-ups. I make neither of them, and each of these does D3 damage. That Playcaster's only got 3 wounds left. 4 damage. 4 damage. 3 wounds. Here we go again. And this is for Witch Hunter and kill something with a fly keyword. 5-up disgustingly resilience. I make 1. Just 1. I've got no command points left. You kill him. The Plague Caster falls. Now to stop the Death Company guy getting shot at by entropy cannons, he has chosen to pile in to the Plague Marines. He fancies his chances. So let's hit him with some Plague Knives. Hitting on 3s, 2 more hits with Desperate False Emperor. Scenery malfunction. 5 hits and 4s to wound, rerolling 1s. That's just 3 wounds, sir. 3 3-up saves. You fail all 3 of them. And 6-up. Ooh. Nearly. He gets taken out. I see what you mean though. If you'd have just left him in the open, he would have got murdered anyway.
Might as well die fighting, to be honest.
I like it. Then the Poxwalkers struck back, put 1 wound on the Sanguinary Priest, and that's the end of Blood Angels turn 5. And despite having so few assets, it was remarkably successful. They achieved all 3 of their orders, killing the witch and that guy down there, and also holding the lion. So all 3 orders goes from 17 points to 20, and they killed 3 units. So that puts them on 23 points. So it's 23 points to 16. However, I killed the last Death Company guy there when the thing exploded, and I killed the other Death Company guy here when he piled in. So it's 23 points to 18. I am 5 points behind as we go to turn 5 for the Death Guard. Oh, tell a lie, I'm 3 points behind. It's 20 points to 23 because my Poxwalkers have defended Objective 6 for 2 turns. So there's 3 points in it. Here are the Death Guard orders. Take as much ground as possible. Defend 3, secure 4, and secure 5. And I'm not going to be able to achieve any of these. Here we are after the Death Guard movement phase. And there's objective 4. And I'm not on it, so I can't get that point. And here's objective 5. And I'm nowhere near it, so I can't get that point. And then defend objective 3. Well, I had to advance the Plague Marines to get them up there. I've started defending it. But if the game ends in turn 5, I won't get those 2 points. I won't get it until the end of the Blood Angels' turn. So they are 3 points in the lead. They have come, they have smashed, and they're just holding out for the evac. They're holding out for the call to retreat. If they get it at the end of turn 5, it's an almost certain victory for the Blood Angels. However, if the evac is delayed at all, then this will be another victory for the end of all things. So let's go into the shooting phase. The only thing I can really shoot at here is the chaplain and the priest. So let's do that. Let's fire the 2 entropy cannons in at the chaplain. 4s to hit, 1 hit, 2s to wound, 1 wound, 1 4-up Crozier save, which you make d6 shots with the Plague Burst Mortar, 6 shots. Raining fire from the sky. One more time. 4s to hit. Only 2 hits. It is strength 8, however. 2s to wound. Both wound. And you fail one of them. This does D3 damage for 1 damage. He's on 2 wounds left. And then the volley gun, or the slugger, 4s to hit. 3s to wound. 1 more wound at -1. And he's on 1 wound left. Now, I really wanted him dead by the mortar, by the crawler, so the Plague Marines could have fired through at the priest, but he isn't dead. He isn't dead. And I'd love to shoot at him with the Rhino, but the Razorback is closest. So I have to shoot at him with the Plague Marines. So let's do that. The 2 Blight Launchers. 1 hit, wounds on A3, wounds, 4-up save, which you fail, and this does D3 damage. The chaplain dies. It's as simple as that, and then all the rest of the guns from the Plague Marines punch holes in the dirt where he stood. And that's the end of my turn. I get 1 point, just 1 point. It's 21 points to 23 in favour of the Blood Angels. And the player who goes first rolls a dice, and that was you.
It is me.
And if you get a 1-2,
Ah,
you don't. You roll a 6. Evac is delayed. We're going on to Blood Angels, turn 6. Here are the Blood Angels' orders. Overwhelming firepower, kill something in the shooting phase. Purity through bloodshed, kill something in the fight phase. And secure objective 5. With 3 assets left on the table, the Blood Angels are hanging on, waiting for the dropships, waiting for the teleport flares, or this fight will be over and they would have lost. The Rhino moving around, it is securing objective 5, so there's a point. And the reason why he moved around is because the Blade Burst Crawler will have to move if I want to shoot at him next turn. And the Razorback, of course, moving around as well. There's no way I can move the Plague Burst Crawler to get shots on that Razorback unless I rain fire from the sky indirectly with a Plague Burst Mortar. If he had stayed here, I'd have been able to shoot him. Besides, he needed to move because he didn't have line of sight on the Rhino, and you need overwhelming firepower. And the last thing left to move was the priest. Advancing backwards, jabbed a needle in his arm, has healed a wound on himself. And that's it. So, you need to roll big to kill this Rhino. And 1 hit, that's not big enough. 3s to wound. Does wound, 6-up save, which I don't make, d6 damage. 2 damage, it goes down to 8 wounds. And that's it. At the end of that turn, the Blood Angels get a point for securing objective 5 over there. It's 21 points to 24 in favour of the Blood Angels, but I get 2 points for defending objective 3. So it's 23 points to 24. The Death Guard are 1 point behind as we go to Death Guard, turn 6. The Death Guard need to secure objective 4, kill something in the assault phase, and make 7 disgustingly resilient saves for disgusting devotions. Now I'm not going to get that because there's so little firepower coming back at the Death Guard, but I can punch something in the assault phase. Here we are after the Death Guard movement phase. The Poxwalker's running along the bridge. I rolled a 6 and I'm securing objective 4. And the streets echo with the moans of zombies going brains. Brains. Plague Marines pushing forward. More Poxwalkers there. And then the Death Guard are going to assault that Razorback. Then in the shooting phase, Plague Marines firing up, doing nothing, and fire from the sky from the Plague Burst Mortar coming up and over. And then we had Blight Launchers, Plasma Guns, Storm Bolters, Combi Bolters, everything going into this Razorback. It dropped 5 wounds. It's down to 5 wounds left. And now I'm charging with the Rhino to try and eat the Overwatch. If you roll 2 6s, I could be in trouble though.
Fantastic if I could. Oh, there's
I
one.
get 1 6. And it doesn't wound. So the Rhino is in. And then my Plague Marines go 5 inches. The Rhino's attacked, done no damage. Now the Plague Marines, 3s to hit. 3 hits and 5s to wound. And Plague Weapons. So 2 wounds, 2 3-up saves. It makes them both. I've got to do it with a fist. Power Fist coming in. Plague Champion, 4s to hit. 1 hit. Death to the False Emperor doesn't happen. I made that mistake once and the internet told me off. 3s to wound. Doesn't wound. So I don't get a point for blood and guts. And that's it. I don't kill anything either. It's 23 points to 23 because I've just secured that objective there. However, I have got behind enemy lines because the Plague Marines are deep up in the Blood Angels deployment zone as they're pulling back towards the dropships, and it's my turn to roll a dice. Will this be the end of all things? It is. This is the way the world ends. And so, the end of all things, the Death Guard win this day. Babington 9 is theirs. And that was the closest they have come to losing a fight on Babington 9. If it had ended in turn 5, it would have been a Blood Angels victory, but just a couple of dice rolls in it, really. Just a couple of mortal wounds or so here. I think, Luke, you did exactly the right thing. Would have you done anything differently if you'd have tried again?
I don't think so.
No?
I can't think of any reasons, any other choices, really. No.
I mean, when we look down here, everything, that first assault when the Death Company smashed in, that could have been a lot more worse. Grammar. You could have wiped them out. But you did, in the end, clear the back lines. You did, in the end, push all the way through it. Both Lords of the Contagion, both of the malignant Playcasters wiped out. There was some really unlucky shooting versus the bloat drones. But I found those bloat drones just hang in there again and again and again. There's just something about them, which is why I've got a bunch more coming.
Okay.
In the end, however, it was a victory for the end of all things. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you to my patrons for supporting me. Luke, you're awesome. You're a patron as well.
Yes.
That t-shirt is available from wargamesuk.co.uk. This battle mat is available from urbanmats.com. This terrain by Zen Terrain. That terrain by Foreground Studios. Thank you everyone for watching. Happy wargaming. The Great Rift has ripped the galaxy in two. Chaos spills throughout the Imperium. Nothing can withstand the end of all things.